Okay, we're going to just pick up from the last video. We just built this if-else statement. In the top block, I'm going to put what happens when you press a key, which actually is in the word. We'll come back to that. We've already collected the key press in the guesses, so even though it's a correct guess, we've already logged it with this line on 37 here. If it happens to be in the word that you're guessing, then according to our little algorithm here, if you did guess a correct letter, it will update the puzzle, display the puzzle, see if you won, and then wait for the next guess. So I'll just, for now, we'll come back to update and draw puzzle here. I'm just going to leave it sort of the way it is and just put a comment in. So code for a correct guess, and or else if you did not guess correctly, we should have code for an incorrect guess, which you can see in the flowchart here. If you don't get it, it does what it would do if you made a duplicate guess. So if you already guessed a letter and you guess it again, that will count against you. So you'll get a fail, you'll get a body part, check to see if you've lost, otherwise continue with the game. Same thing happens if you guess incorrectly a new letter. You will increase the number of misses that you have, the count, draw a new body part for that number of failures, check to see if the game is over, and if not, continue. So because these are the same, what we have here for when you make a duplicate guess, when you guess the same letter again that you've already guessed, or when you make an incorrect guess with a new letter that you haven't guessed before, since they do the same thing, I'm going to go back to where we were. So here's what happens when you have a duplicate guess, and we did these things. We increased the number of fails. We haven't coded yet the drawing of a next body part. And then we have something that checks to see if the game has ended. So because I want this both here with duplicate guesses in this if statement, and I want it here for when you make an incorrect guess, I'm actually going to take these 3 lines of code out. So I'm going to copy them and press Control X to cut. And I'm actually going to create a function which we'll define now, which will go in both these places. So I don't have to type the same multiple lines of code twice. I'll encapsulate all of that inside of a function, and then I'll just call that function in both places. So if you get a duplicate code, we will say, we'll just call that miss. And if you get an incorrect guess with a new letter, we'll also call the function miss. So now we have to actually define what that is. So down here, I'm going to make a little space and type a function. I'm going to call it miss. It takes no arguments, and the code goes in here. So I'm just going to paste what I have. Now these are a little bit too far indented, these second lines. So if you click on these lines and press Shift Tab, or just delete some space at the beginning, either way, or you could select both of them at the same time, both lines, and hit Shift Tab, you reduce the indentation by 1 level. I'm going to do that. So now when we miss, we increase the number of fails. We're going to check to see if the game is over. If fails is greater than 6. If the game is over, I'm going to end the game. And if it's not greater than or equal to 6, I guess nothing will happen. It'll just keep playing. I guess the end the game, if you fail, for now I'll kill the function which checks for key presses, so you can't keep pressing keys. But we'll add more code to that later. So for now I'm just going to say document, exactly what I have up here, the onKeyPress attribute of the document. It'll now be an empty function. I think I just say null, actually. That's probably, maybe just null. We'll see if that works. That should be, what that should do is make it so that if I fail 6 times, it'll stop paying attention to the keys I press. So I'll try that. Let's see if that even works. So my word will be Bobby, and I'll press OK. So if I press H, push is not a function, guesses. Oh, so I'm using the wrong command here to add something to a list of, I thought this was an array. It's a string, so instead of this, I'm going to say guesses plus equals e.key, and that'll record my my new guess. So let's try that again. Bobby is my word. I got to click in here, and then I'm going to press H, and I should have a fail. It doesn't seem to be working though, because I guess I took out the thing that showed what I was guessing. Well, so as far as we know, let's see. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. So I guess we'll say on key press, just so I can see what I'm doing. Whenever you press a key, before it does anything else, we're just going to say console.log e.key. So now I should be able to see in the console any key I press. So when I run the game, Bobby is my word. If I click in this white space and now I press H, I see an H in the console, and I should have a fail now. So if I press H again, I should have another fail. Now I should have 4 fails, 5 fails, 6 fails should end it, and now I'm pressing H, and it's no longer reading my keystrokes because the fails, once it reaches 6, I get rid of the on-key press. It used to be this function that checks the keys and writes to the console whenever you press a key. Now it is nothing, it is null. So once this gets triggered, it sets the on-key press function to null, so it kind of gets rid of it, and it no longer checks for keystrokes after 6 fails. So I have ended the game. It won't keep playing after you fail 6 times. But of course, we're going to add more to that eventually, so that you actually see something on the screen so that the user knows that it's not playing anymore, not because it's broken, but because they lost. So we'll do something later to make that better. Now, I guess, let's work on this part of the function. It's part of the misses little subroutine that happens. I'll show you the algorithm. So when you fail, you do this little stuff here. You increase the number of fails. Yes, you check to see if the game is over, and you end it if it's over. Otherwise, you keep playing. But there was also this here, which is draw another body part. So if it's the first miss, you draw the head, then the body, then the leg, then the other leg, then an arm, then another arm. And for me, that was it. You can add other parts by changing the code as you wish, but I'm just going to make 6 body parts, and we'll start that function now. So this was kind of our rough idea of what we're going to be doing. So to draw the head, I want to draw a circle at this location, and I put the example code here. You're going to draw an arc, 80 pixels from the left, 60 pixels from the top. That's the center of the circle. It'll be a 20 pixel wide radius, and it'll go from 0 degrees to 2 pi, which is 360, so it'll be a complete circle. So we'll calculate that arc, and then we also need to call the stroke method. We could set some attributes if we want before we do that, but when we call the stroke method of the context object, it should mark the arc that we calculate. So that's what we will do now. We'll just kind of put this code here. So I'm going to make another function called, we'll call this draw body part, and it'll take an argument, so you got to give it a number, which is part number, and then curly brackets. And inside of here will be what happens whenever we say to draw a body part. So now I'm going to create actually a switch statement. So I'm going to say switch, and then I think it goes into parentheses, part number, and then curly brackets after that. Then we have case when the part number is 1. So what do we do when it's your first body part that you want to draw? So we're going to feed into the part number how many times you failed. So if you failed once, it'll draw the body part 1. So we'll draw a circle. So I'm going to say ctx dot arc 80, 60, 20. That's the location, x and y, along with the radius. And then 0 to 2 times math.pi, where m is capitalized and both letters of pi are capitalized. And that will make a circle for us. Let's make this somewhat thicker, ctx dot. Now, because we already changed the line width to, I believe, 2, 4, I guess, it's already this thickness, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I think it'll stay. I'm going to change the stroke style to the color black, I guess, and then I'm going to say ctx.stroke, and there we go. Now to end one of your cases in your switch statement, you got to say break, and so that's what's going to happen upon our first fail. Now I want to copy this case structure here, and I'm going to copy it and press Control C, and I actually went a line above here with that line break. So now if I put it here and paste, I should get indentation proper. So I need to have 6 different body parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to do one more, which will be the default case. So if it gets, for whatever reason, it shouldn't get it, but in case anything else gets entered in as a body part number, let's say 7 or 0, let's say you change the code a little bit, but you don't extend the switch statement, then there should be a default option. There should always be a default option, and in that case, I'm just not going to do anything. So there's a way out of here if it doesn't get something it expects. It won't do anything, it'll just get out of the switch statement. Okay, so we have the case when you have a second fail, a third fail, fourth fail, a fifth fail, and a sixth fail. We draw the head in the first case. The next case is the body. So the coordinates of the head, the center of the head were 80, 60. The radius was 20. So if I go 20 units down from the head, I'm at the base of the head. So that'd be 80, 80. So I'm going to do a context.move to. The body's going to be a line. I'm just going to say 80, 80. And then I'm going to say ctx.line to. And then we'll say 80 from the left, but now, let me see my drawing. I'm going to go 3 times 20 down. So instead of being at 80, I'm going to increase that by 60 units. So I think 140. I think that, yeah, I drew that here for the body. So that did ring a bell. So 140. And that should do the body. Now that's the coordinate I'm going to start at for the legs. So I'm going to put that at the next two. For the, I should put 140 here and here. For the left leg, that's where I start, and then I drop down 20 more units, so I go to 160 vertically. And I go left 20 units. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 40. 2 times 20. So I should go to 180 and 40. So let's try that. So we drop down to 180 and 40 here. And on the other side, we'll also drop down vertically to 180, but now we're going 40 units the other way. So 120. And now we have to do the arms. So I'm going to copy that same code, put them here for cases 5 and 6. That's the last two body parts. So that's going to be 20 units down from the head. So instead of 80, 80, it's going to be 80, 100. And it's going to go to 40, 120. And then 120, 120. So let's do that. So 80, 80, that's where we start. And then we're going to go to 40, 20, I'm sorry, 40, 100, did I say? I don't remember what I said. 20 to the left, 20, I'm sorry, 60, no, yeah, 40 to the left, 20 down. I think that was for the left arm. And then 40 to the right and 20 down. So that should be, oh no, these were 100. And this was 120. That looks better. Okay, so let's, so now we have the draw body part function. So here where we said in our miss function, draw the next body part, we're going to just say draw body part. Now we're going to call that function. And the number it fails is the part number that we're going to call. So let me try that. Let's see if this works at all. Bobby. All right, I'm going to click in the white space and press H. I think I'm going to need a begin path. Okay, so I'm missing a piece of code, but let's see how it works. So that's one fail. I get the head, I get the circle, I get the body, I get the leg. This isn't quite what I was expecting. I get the other leg, I get the arm, and I get the arm. Okay, so the legs look good. He doesn't look like he's Hangman. He looks more like he's Standman. So I'm going to change the legs a little bit. I'm going to do, so that's the body. This is the legs. So I'm going to do them 60 and 60 here instead of 80. 180, 180. I'm going to do 160. Let's try that again. Bobby, H. Okay, that's my guy. So that's my Hangman. I gotta break this here, so at the start, I guess I'm just gonna say ctx.begin path at the start of my draw body part. Let's see if that helps me. Bobby, okay, H, oh, btx, whoops, my bad. Try this again, okay. Well, I don't know what letters are in that. I didn't press R, I'm pretty sure, so I'll try that. Okay. Wonderful. And now it stops recording. So far so good. We now have the Hangman features. You can tell when I press a wrong letter or a correct letter. So now we kind of want to work on, I guess, displaying the puzzle. Everything's so good so far. Let's see. So this is taken care of. This is taken care of. I think we only need a couple more things. We only need for when we press a correct letter, what should happen. Maybe something a little bit more to end the game. And then what we really need to do is work on showing the puzzle to the player so they know what's going on. So we'll just do that in the next video. I think this is pretty good for one, so I'll see you in the next one.